So this is going to lead us into the next piece, which is the solution. And this was a report that came out of Fox News, and it said less than 2 months ahead of the presidential election, with concerns of foreign interference again at the forefront. Get your MeWe GIFs out, I'm sick of hearing that. A conservative political group is raising serious concerns about millions of donations reported by a major Democratic fundraising platform. And a preliminary computer analysis by the Take Back Action Fund obtained by Fox News has found that nearly half of all 2019 donations to Act Blue were made by people claiming to be unemployed. Now, the Action Fund president, John Pudner, questioned the veracity of those donations and called it a loophole that must be closed for the sake of election integrity. Election integrity in America, really. So that's amusing. Sorry, but it just is. And he said, after downloading hundreds of millions of dollars in donations to the Take Back Action Fund service, we were shocked to see almost half of the donations to Act Blue in 2019 claimed to be unemployed individuals. The name of the employers must be disclosed when making political donations, but more than 4.7 million donations came from people who claimed they did not have an employer. That is organised. If you're unemployed, you can't afford to give donations to fake parties. It doesn't matter which one, they're both fake. That is coordinated and organised. The point is, who? Those 4.7 million donations total 346 million Act Blue raised and sent to liberal causes. And the trend is continuing this year. An Action Fund examination of 2020 data from January through August showed an uptick in unemployed donations through Act Blue to 50.1% this year. Election skullduggery. Right, here's another solution. I like creative solutions that fires back at those who don't have our best interest at heart, like the Democrat Party, although the Republican Party is not much better either. They are involved in creating absolute carnage everywhere currently across this country via Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Soros and Clinton Foundation shenanigans, postal vote issues, vote rigging machines, agency interference, foreign agency interference, Israeli lobbyist interference, all engineered to create mass confusion and also panic. Then we have the Operation Blackout scenario of a simulation to disrupt the 2020 election. And you all know now how these simulations remarkably turn out to be the real events. Think Event 201 and COVID. Think 9/11. Think London 7/7. Think Spain and the train bombing and many other instances. All became live events in what was a background of alleged training for the potential of these events, and yet they all happened at the same time. And they call us conspiracy theorists? Other reports of Dems unleashing havoc before, during and after, should their puppet not become the president. So with all of that in place, and then you have several states now in total turmoil due to in part staged weather events. That accounts for at least 7 to 10 states currently. We've still got 2 months to go, remember. The deliberate false flag firestarting that has severely affected at least 5 other states currently and has the potential of more over the coming months. Then we have all 50 states on some form of lockdown, social distancing, and the whole fear of this global false flag on the people to deal with as well. We have millions short of food, water, shelter, homes, jobs, and in poverty in this country now to deal with as well. So with all that said, the only solution to fire back at the game players ruining American people's lives, and with so many states in turmoil, the virus allegedly posing severe issues and will hamper any voting, the Postal Service method too corrupt because Trump stole all the machines, and the voting machines too corrupt. So with all that, there's only one solution. Cancel the damn election until all this shit ongoing stops. It's simple. The virus bullshit has to go away. No more lockdowns, no more masks, no more vaccines, people back in jobs and life back to some sort of real normal, not new normal. Cancel the election under the Emergency Powers Act until the right conditions allows for a proper election to take place. Cancel the damn election until all this shit goes away. That is another of our poetic and ironic justice solutions. So to follow up last week's bombshell of the races, languages and off-world connections, it's easy to state this is all about tribalism in today's modern day labelling and discord world, all designed and set up by think tanks as far back as 1940s and likely earlier. Well, Thomas is white and so he's defending the white race. But I never hear anyone stating stop calling out the white people in the various alt media shows or the MSM. You can't have it both ways. But whilst many came here under duress or for valid reasons, and then appears to have been used for other intentions and purposes, the case now is that we have to make the best of a poor situation. And to date, we've not achieved that. But with the right teaching and intentions, those barriers can be overcome. And for evidence of that, look no further than our own group. People all over the world, from different races, colours, religions and backgrounds, all by and large coming together, minus the labels and stereotyping, both of which came from the dark forces to separate, not combine. But the fact remains is, a reptilian group has been hunting down the Aryan blood, DNA and genetics for the past 4,000 years or so now, in the more modern day pursuit of the white race. And I will have further details of that soon in an up-and-coming show. The National Zionists, which are by and large not German, as mentioned recently, are the front group on this planet to continue that pursuit against the white race. And they've used every other colour with which to undertake that task, using propaganda or pro-pagan dar, which is the real term, like it was the whites who did all the slavery, which is a guilt and shame programme which has been ran since the 1800s and reached epic proportions with the racial propaganda piece ran on the Aryans in World War II times. That was then carried forward, and then the victim programme kicked in, as those operated falsely under the banner of Jewish have ran guilt programs that the whites killed all and only Jewish people in the camps. But our story has revealed that not to be the case. Evidence of Jewish scientists and geneticists doing testing and experimentation on their own so-called peoples, all to fulfill a propaganda piece for the future. Said to be against the poor Jews, but it was always against the whites. It is classic reverse psychology programming, where the victims are the perpetrators, where the bad guys are by and large the good guys. And the classic trick used heavily by discrediting alt media sites and also the mainstream media of accusing others of what they have done. Hello, Team Bubba. All done by stealth infiltration of countries, taking over land, governments, militaries, and then creating think tank and lobbyist groups to keep them all in check. People were threatened, bought off, and killed unless they followed their plan. And people may ask why they go that far. Why do they do such heinous things? And they are good questions that are rendered mute when you read portions of the Talmud they operate by. It's anti-human and mainly anti-white, although that comes under the sleight of hand banner or label of Christian. So why would they use that term? Because then people can come at it from a religious perspective and not a race or colour based, which is the hidden hand and classic reverse psychology program again. But the victim card has been their greatest tool, and still to this day many are frightened to speak out on this subject, and indeed race or colours as well. People on the whole now are frightened of being labelled a racist. Well, you can call me whatever you like. I don't give a shit. Because self-mastery advancement allows you to know yourself, and then you can decide whether you are or not them. But I've presented an avalanche of facts and truth with much corroborating evidence to support what I reveal. And once people step over their own limitation box of worrying about what others think of them, then a river of truth can flow from you, and the purge of frustration and anxiety of holding on to false information can be enlightening and also lightening for the soul and spirit. The fear of speaking out is the tool of the dark forces. If they ban discourse on any topic, you know they are hiding something. And the banning of any criticism of Israel, the Bible contents, the Holocaust, and history is indicative of a program being ran on the people. The classic line used in our show overcomes and overrides that program of "The truth never fears investigation." Something that the CIA, the NSA, Go Ogle, Microsoft and Bill Gates, Facebook, Twitter and the US government seem to excel at not allowing. The truth. JFK put it correctly back in 1963. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are as a people inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths and to secret proceedings. And since then, a plethora of measures have been brought in to cover up more and more of policies ran on and against the people, the greatest of which is the National Security Act. That is a pile of bollocks. and is only there to allow criminals in high positions within our midst to act with impunity. The plot against whites has gone on for 110,000 years, as covered in From Russia with Love 1 and 2. One group of people and or beings have done this for thousands of years. They come in many names, groups and beings that is best described under the banner of the Dark Forces. The original whites were the teachers. They did not invade land or peoples. They taught better ways to all. It was not about conquest and was all about reaching a hand down and also lifting people up.